Okay, I'm trying this the second time because the first time it didn't take for some reason. It didn't finish and exit like it was supposed to. So, I'm Sandy, I'm Alex's mom, and I'm going to go through and answer his 30 questions. I try to do it fast, but some things need a little bit of a backstory to it, so those will be on there too. What's your favorite sport? Baseball, duh. That's a no-brainer in our house. Both boys play. We have some lefty pitcher first baseman in our house, so baseball. Favorite professional team? We like the A's, and then because our friend's son plays for the Seattle Mariners, that would be the second favorite team right now. Favorite candy? I'm not a big fan of chocolate, but I do like Junior Mints. They're my favorite little treat for myself. Do you have a special dinner? I like to make crab cakes, but they're not just plain regular crab cakes. They're crab cakes with salmon and shrimp in them, and then I bake them to get them, cooked all the way through. And then I put just a little bit of olive oil or butter in the frying pan just to crisp up the outside a little bit. So they're not fried like a lot of crab cakes are where they get oily, but they're just fried just enough to crisp up the outside. Most memorable moment of my life, I've got a few of them, but the numbers 1, 2, and 3, which are all pretty equal with each other, would be the day that the boys were born, or the days that the boys were born, and the day that I got married. And then there's also sad memorable moments. It doesn't have to be happy memorable moments. The day my mom died, the day my daughter died. We had a lot of days where we lost people, and those are also sad memorable days, but they are memorable days. Are you afraid of the dark? No. Boxers or briefs? If I was a guy, I think I would have to wear boxer briefs, the long-legged briefs, because it seems like boxers, you would just be yanking at them all day. And briefs, they just look like they would be uncomfortable because they just look so thick and bleh. So boxer briefs, long leg ones. Non-fat, 1%, 2%, or whole milk. I like non-fat milk. I started off as a kid, we used to drink whole milk, and then we went down to 2%, and then 1% came out. And then just for health issues, I started drinking non-fat, and I really prefer that the best. I don't feel all thick and phlegmy and stuff afterwards. So non-fat is my favorite kind of milk, but it has to be ice cold. So I even like ice in my milk sometimes. Favorite line from a movie would be there's two that come to mind. One is from The Color Purple, and it is when Squeak is telling Sophia, "You's just a fat old heifer, ha ha ha." And the other one would be from Steel Magnolias, and that would be Weezer saying, "Are you high, Clary?" I must say that one at least once a day. Just when my sons do something or say something that's kind of stupid, my response is, "Are you high, Clary?" So that's that. Most memorable high school experience? I think graduating and getting out of there. I was just happy to be done. If you get a flat tire, do you change it yourself or call AAA? It's a situational thing. If my husband's with me, between us we would change it rather than waiting for AAA to show up. If it's me and the boys or just me by myself, I would wait in the car and call AAA. Or if someone stops to help me, I would help whoever. But I don't think I'd want to do it by myself for some reason. I don't know. Have you seen both the Atlantic and the Pacific Oceans? Yes, being that we live about a stone's throw from the Pacific. That one's a given. And I was actually born in Savannah, Georgia, which is right on the Atlantic Ocean. So I've been to both extremes. Worst movie you've ever seen? I've got two of those also. Dune and Labyrinth. If someone said, "I'll give you $1,000 to sit and watch either one," I'd say keep your money. Water with or without ice? If it's with ice, there's a certain kind of ice that I like. I'm with Lemonette. I like the little crushed ice that comes in their stuff. I think it's Lemonette that said it. But I also like, I don't know if I just said Sonic's ice. My brain was going faster than my lips. Okay. Well, and then there's another kind of ice that Rayleigh's, our grocery store here, sells, that it's round like a tube and it's got a hole in the middle. So it's really good for crunching, not like a big cube. I hate just big fat ice cubes. So it depends. Situational. Favorite CD? Another one I have to give two answers. I like Queen Latifah's, it's called the Dana Owens album, and where she does a lot of standards and classic tunes. And then I like Sammy Hagar's Sam I Am CD. Those are my two favorites at the moment. After you finish a book, do you keep it or give it away? It depends. It's kind of a... I always loan my books out to my best friend Kathy, and she always gives them back. And then if I know I really don't expect a book back, I usually loan it to my sister. And sometimes I get it back, most times I don't. But, so it depends on how you look at it. The last thing I broke. What was the last thing you broke? Last summer, we had a living room fan. So it was right after summer, and we were finished using it, and I put it out in the garage. Well, somehow it got knocked off of the box that it was sitting on and ended up behind the wheel of my car, and I ended up driving over it and crushing it to about 83,000 pieces. So it was a fan. What kind of community service do you do? I tend to volunteer with the school district with sports. We are big sports boosters in our family, so that leads to the next one. Have you ever been to a crab feed? We just worked at one on Saturday night for the high school, for the local sports boosters, and fed crab to, I want to say 350 people within the matter of an hour and a half, 2 hours. So it's a great fundraiser. Everybody has fun. The athletes serve the family members, and everybody just has a really good time. We do cake auctions, and different donations get auctioned off, and a trip to Mexico, and just a lot of fun stuff. Did you play sports as a kid? I didn't play organized sports. We would play football and baseball and stuff like that in the street. And the last time I played football, I fell and broke my arm, and I vowed to never play football in the street again. So, depends on how you look at it. Do I play them as an adult? Not too much. As an adult, my main sport would be marathoning. So when I'm training for a marathon, we can start training we train every day, but then like on weekends it's the longer walks or runs depending on which team you're on, and it can be as little as 6 miles. And the last week before training, I've had coaches take us out for 28 miles of up and down hills. So yeah, you try a 28-mile hike someday, you'll see. What is your favorite brand of shoes? I like Asics. They're my favorite running shoes. But the pairs that I like usually cost like $125, so I usually buy Nike instead, which I can get for like $40, $45. Do I have hidden talents? I type about 100 words a minute, and my son Johnny said to say that I cook really well, so I'm a good cook. Do I know what a Fu Manchu is? Yes. I hope I never have one. What's your favorite kind of sushi? There is a hand roll that's made with rice paper instead of the nori, the seaweed, and it has shiitake mushrooms inside and toasted sesame seeds on the outside. It's really, really good. That's my favorite. Do you have any song lyrics that just stick in your head? Yeah, and it ticks my husband off, and that's one of the ways that I get to harass him. It's a song from when we were all kids, from the Muppet Show. I mean, I'm sure it went to something else, but I relate it to the Muppet Show. And it was the do-do-do-do-do, mana-mana, do-do-do-do. So if I really want to tick off my husband, I just have to kind of start humming that. And I only have to do about as much as I just did, and it's just funny because it really irritates me. Everybody has something that they do to irritate somebody. Well, that's the thing that I do to irritate my husband. And if that's the worst thing I ever do, I think I'm doing pretty well. What is your most memorable Halloween costume? I have to hurry. 523 seconds. Most memorable Halloween costume, I was a boxer with full makeup, hand wraps, the whole bit. Favorite TV show of all time is Jeopardy because we watch it as a family. Do your best Tube Granny or Zipster impression. How y'all doing? And thank you. Do you have any tattoos? No. Is there anything in trail mix that you don't like and you'd rather flick at your brothers? I would rather throw the whole bag at my brothers because I have 3 older ones that tick me off quite regularly. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Bye.